Leaders of the Americas met last week in Los Angeles, California for the 9th Summit of the Americas. There, much focus was placed on how leaders should help countries in the Western Hemisphere respond to identified challenges including food and energy security, climate change, and improved regional relations. Food security became a top priority as countries continue to grapple with the surging cost of goods amid the COVID-19 pandemic and the Ukraine-Russia crisis. Guyana-led efforts within the Caribbean community have been focused on increasing regional food production, and President Dr. Irfaan Ali was keen on telling his fellow leaders of the worsening issues of malnutrition and food shortages. This, he said, demanded immediate attention. A new U.S.-Caribbean partnership was also launched with United States Vice President Kamala Harris leading engagements with CARICOM. For low-lying countries like Guyana, threatened by rising sea levels and flooding, climate mitigation efforts are seen as crucial. Guyana's head of state also told fellow leaders that unless much action is taken, citizens would suffer. With the new partnership, the U.S. is expected to mobilize climate funds to support climate mitigation actions and help countries shift toward the use of more renewable energy. Already, President Ali has announced that countries would be working together to use natural gas and other more renewable sources of energy. This would help climate relief efforts while guaranteeing that there is enough energy within the region for use.
We are encouraged by the immediate action to set up joint committees to look at the important issue of food security, climate change, energy security, and financing. This should be expanded to the Americas in finding solution based on a time frame. Let us say to the people of this region that as political leaders, we are ready to tie ourselves to time-bound initiatives in delivering to them the prosperity we all speak of. We need as a region to have these tough conversations that are necessary to make the best possible decisions for the people of this region.
Another key issue was improving relations between U.S. and Cuba, both countries that Caribbean states have close ties with. Belizean Prime Minister John Briceño, who was among the first leaders to address the summit, emphatically stated that the tense relations should be improved to allow Cuban people to live better lives. U.S. and Cuba have maintained a strained relationship for decades now following the Cuban Revolution in the 1950s. And the U.S., which was the host for this year's summit, opted to exclude leaders from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua amid concerns of undemocratic governance and human rights violations. This triggered a boycott of the summit by the Mexican president. CARICOM leaders also mulled a boycott, but many of them ultimately attended. Several other Caribbean leaders, like Briceño, registered their disapproval of this and advocated for improved relations. Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, at the end of the summit, alluded to further progress on easing the U.S. blockade in Cuba.
While they were ultimately not invited, the policy initiatives that were announced to Cuba were in no small measure due to our influence. We have made it clear that Cuba is our Caribbean brother and sisters in there, so is Venezuela, and that we need to have engagement of the entire community going forward. We don't have eyes in the back of our head. We've come out of faith because we believe President Biden and his sincerity when he said that he was going to do something to make a difference. We understand the reality of local politics, but we also understand that there must be a commitment to move forward.
Over the next few weeks, countries of the Americas are expected to continue engaging each other to advance solutions on resolving these woes. Caribbean countries are expected to continue their advocacy for greater food and energy security and climate mitigation actions. Other central issues for other countries in the Americas include migration, maintaining democracy and peace in the region. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vishani Ragobeer.